Hi everyone. Happy Cyclical Vomiting Syndrome Awareness Day 2019. I was actually just this morning made aware of this. I had no idea that this was even a thing. My birthday's in May and I don't even care about it anymore because today is what means everything to me. In case you guys haven't realized by this video yet, I do suffer from cyclical vomiting syndrome myself. I've had it for a pretty solid decade now. Gonna be 30 in May. So I got it when I was like around 2021. My first severe episode that I was hospitalized was when I tried to go out for my 21st birthday. So yeah, not good. I figured out pretty quickly within my disease that alcohol is a huge trigger. And unfortunately, I kind of slightly suffered from alcoholism since I was like a teenager. So a good part of my early 20s was kind of trying to figure out how to stop drinking so much so that I wasn't ending up in the hospital with episodes. It used to get pretty bad. I mean, I've seen a good amount of cyclical cases on YouTube. It's considered a very rare disease still. That's why today is about bringing awareness so that, we can keep learning and combating these rare chronic illnesses that people have. But mine is pretty severe. Like I said, alcohol in the beginning was a huge trigger for me, and it ended up putting me in the ER like more times than I might have than when when I'm not drinking. Like I doubled the amount of ER visits by not recognizing that that was a huge trigger in the first couple years. I had a lot of issues with being in denial and not being able to accept that there was like something more wrong with me. I just thought I had just like a weak body that, maybe some thin lining, like not like other people. I don't know. I just thought I wasn't as strong as other people when it came to like alcohol. And different foods and stuff like that. I've always kind of had different IBS issues since high school and like really bizarre eating habits, just going through like years of poverty and like having food and then not having food, or like, finally starting to work at 15 and then being able to buy myself whatever I wanted. So then there was years where I would like binge eat, and that couldn't have added up to being good for my digestive system. But getting back to the cyclical, I haven't seen any other patients that every patient is kind of slightly different or totally completely different when it comes to cyclical. That's one reason why it is so hard to diagnose, so hard to treat. There's no cure, and there's no test that you can, like, there's no test your doctor can give you specifically that's like, okay, you have cyclical. Trust me, I should know, because I still don't even have a diagnosis from my doctor. I've been stupidly going to the same doctor for like 7 years now. Unfortunately, I am stuck on welfare insurance because I do come from, a poverty upbringing, and I'm still a little bit on that side of life, and, definitely can't afford my own health insurance. So me and my daughter get help through the state, and our list of doctors ends up being pretty small when you're on, welfare through the state. They don't give you a lot of options, and a lot of the people that you end up dealing with in these situations are really rude and seem to not really like their jobs. Like, it's just, you're not treated very nicely when you're in the system. But anyway, trying to not lose my point because I had no intention of posting this video today. So I'm trying not to let it be all over the place because it is about cyclical. So I haven't been able to get my doctors to diagnose me. I've been working with them for about 7 years. They have me on pantoprazole, Protonix, which is just like an acid monitoring stomach pill kind of, because my whole system is just so acidic. So that's something that helps me. That's one of the only medications like that I kind of take regularly, twice a day, and it just helps me to be able to eat in general. So that's good. But other than that, the hospitals and my doctors, different gastro specialists, I've been scoped multiple times, front and back, and they have given me different nausea, vomiting pills, different like anxiety medications and stuff like that to try to help it. Nothing works. Unfortunately, my doctors are against medical marijuana and the cannabis movement. I think that ties into them being a welfare office, but they won't grant me the ability to legally medicate with THC and cannabis products alike. I end up becoming pretty desperate in my situation, and being as sick as I am, I do get donations from people that I know that do have a medical card, and they go to dispensaries and they can afford to do that. Unfortunately, I really can't afford to do that, so I do have a couple people that kind of donate medications and take care of me in that aspect. So hopefully Pennsylvania kind of catches up with all of that, because there's a lot of patients and there's a lot of people that suffer that are in the welfare system that could use it and things like that. Anyway, my point, this video is going to be unedited because I'm using my cell phone to take it. I'm going to try to make it under 15 minutes. Right now it's pushing 10. So my cyclical is pretty severe. I deal with it every single day. I basically feel like I am always in my first trimester of pregnancy. I do have a 6-year-old daughter, so I know what it's like to be pregnant. My pregnancy was very difficult. I was extremely sick. I was hospitalized quite a few times throughout. I remember myself and Royal Kate Middleton were in the hospital for morning sickness at the same time, because I remember laying in the hospital bed and watching that on the news. So that's how I can kind of put that on my timeline to remember. But I don't know. I don't really know what else to say, but I just want people to be aware of this disease. I think in the next couple months or weeks, I'm going to be finally changing doctors after 7 years, because I'm tired of my doctors just testing me for everything they possibly can just to make money off the insurance companies, which are through welfare. So it's like, I don't really understand how. I just don't understand it sometimes. There's a lot of corruption and greed that goes on in this country, unfortunately, and it really gets in the way of patients that, don't come from money and privilege and honestly need help. And it sucks because I don't have a lot of family and I don't have a lot of options. So dealing with my doctors and them refusing to give me my rare disease diagnosis. Like, I have lost the last 3 jobs that I've attempted to have because I'll have an episode at work and ain't nobody got time for that. So a lot of people usually let me go, or I let myself go because it's humiliating. I already know what people are thinking before they say it, and, you know, it's a pretty vicious cycle. So, yeah, cyclical is very serious. And it's very misdiagnosed and mistreated on the East Coast, which is scary. It's very scary. I've been through a lot in the last 10 years. I've had a lot of good help, and mostly I've had a lot of not so good help. I have been escorted out of hospitals in the back of police cars because hospitals don't know what to do. And they just kind of treat you like, you know, you're there just seeking pain medication, and they're just wondering why you're vomiting for no reason, and, you know, they just don't want to help. So, yeah, I've had a lot of bad experiences with this disease, so it'd be nice to raise awareness and get more people talking about it, more medical professional. You know, I wish I didn't have to go in for when I do have very severe episodes. You always have to be hospitalized, put on an IV. A lot of times there's pain medication that needs to be taken to get your, just everything to kind of calm down. And the whole point in a hospitalized visit is to kind of just knock the patient out, as crazy as it sounds, but it is kind of just very simple. You just need to like fight that huge cyclical vomiting wave. And it's, if you've ever been pregnant and had like severe morning sickness, that nausea wave is nothing to mess with. And same goes for the cyclical. Is very intense and it's very hard to handle. I'm gonna cut this short here soon. I just want to say one more thing, kind of about my experience. One characteristic of cyclical vomiting syndrome is that everything is a trigger. Everything triggers you, and it's scary. It's every day you could be triggered by a bad situation, a good situation, a good meal, a bad meal. You know, it's just, you never really know when things are going to happen. But I do also suffer from some IBD and IBS problems. In general, my entire digestive tract is just off, and there's something wrong with it. My doctors have underdiagnosed me with acute IBS, which I think is just their way of trying to keep me out of their office and give me something that I want, which is not a wrong diagnosis. I think that I have something worse than IBS. So I think this because it doesn't matter what I eat. I could eat apples and celery and carrots all day and wake up and use the bathroom 5 to 10 times, getting more and more nauseous every time. I can feel things moving through my intestines. It is excruciating and it's very painful. My whole abdomen and lower body kind of just attacks itself between my IBS and my cyclical and my back injuries from sports. And then I also had an epidural during my labor, so there's a lot of stuff going on down there every day in the morning that puts me in a position that I can't function. And it sucks because I have a 6-year-old that is in kindergarten, and I'm actually about to be getting her ready to get on the bus here shortly. And thankfully, I was able to pull myself out of my cyclical episode this morning. Because, as I said in the beginning, 10 years ago, I used to be hospitalized. I used to have severe episodes that occurred frequently. It's weird because my cyclical as a disease and as an illness has changed and like evolved into something else over the years. So now I am triggered like every single day, and it's always in the morning. Sometimes I have episodes at nighttime because I'll have like an IBS attack at nighttime or in the evening, and my IBS attacks always trigger my cycle. So it'll just, be coming out from all ends, not to sound like too much, but it's the brutal truth of the disease. Very disgusting. It makes you feel gross. And yeah, so I just wanted to tell my story because I don't see enough cyclical stories out there. For as many people that have it in this country and in this world, there should definitely be like a community YouTube page or something for people to just upload their cyclical stories or send them in. Because it helps me when I'm feeling lonely in the morning. Like I said, I don't really have family, which means that I don't really have a support system. The existing family that I do have live, fairly far away from me, so it's not like anybody can just run to me when I need them to. I maybe have like one person in my family that can do that. And that's if they're already not doing something. So I'm gonna wrap up now, and hopefully I don't have to re-record all this. I hope everybody has a great March 5th, and again, this was not a planned video. It's not going to be edited because I'm recording it on my cell phone. I never thought I'd be uploading a video without makeup to YouTube because I'm a huge YouTuber. And this is a big deal for me. So I hope everybody gets a little bit of awareness out of today and can advocate for themselves or for somebody else who is suffering. Be kind to everybody because you never know who is struggling. You never know what people are going through. You never know what kind of medical or mental illnesses people suffer from. Please be kind to each other. And happy Cyclical Vomiting Syndrome Day, everybody. Bye.